Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Her. Today I want to talk about the number one mistake options traders make. It doesn't even have to be regarding options. It could be stocks or Forex or whatever you're trading. The number one mistake, based on my experience and based on what everyone else is saying, it doesn't have anything to do with technical levels or spotting a good deal or anything like that. It's about controlling your greed. In 2017 and 2018, the markets have been just off the chains, have been crazy. A lot of people have been making money. However, most of these people are losing money basically because they can't control their own greed. Emotions is what causing you. It'll cause you to get into a trade. It'll cause you to hang on to a trade that eventually turns into a loser. And I just want to give you a couple of examples here in the market of where things have kind of gotten a little crazy. Looking here, here's Facebook right here, and I use Facebook as an example because people are like, man, I can't believe it dropped 20%. I can't believe it dropped that much in one day or whatever. But if you take a look at this graph here, the way that Facebook has been trading, it fell back just down to mid-range here. It's down at 177 today. And it's just been back in this mid-range, it was going between 162 and between 190, it looks like. So, 190 was 160 is some sort of support, and then 190 was getting hammered. But it was really trading sideways for a while until they had that data scandal, and then we had this huge rip up at the earnings. Hey, what's going on, guys? We had this huge rip up from the earnings, and it was just like, when a stock gets like this, traders just think they're like invincible. They're making money hand over fist. I mean, it's going up every day. Buy every pullback you can get because it's going to be great. I'm just the best trader around. And really, you're not that good at trading. You're just following the trend. And that's not what a trader does, because you just get greedy because you've been, hey, I made $100 yesterday. I bet I can make $200 a day. Hey, I made $200 last week. I bet I can make $1,000 this week. And it just keeps escalating in your mind that you think that you're a better trader than what you really are. And in reality, you're not paying attention to the chart. You're not paying attention to the fundamental. Definitely it was a buy here at 190 when it broke out to the twos, and then it came back down a little bit, and then this just broke out here right before earnings because people think like, hey, we're gonna have killer earnings right here, and they had terrible earnings, but it came back down just to the mid-range level. It didn't go down that much. I mean, it went down 20% from the highs, but really in reality, it really just went nowhere. All of these people that were kept buying and buying and buying, now they're bag holding, and they got to wait for now to get 218, and whether this trades sideways for the rest of the year or they get some good news but they lower guidance. Another example here is S&Ps. So S&Ps were up, I think, 30% last year or something like that, and the average for the S&P is like 2% a year. So it's like crazy, and people are taking all sorts of credit for, hey, this is the best stock market in the world. We're doing so many great things. We're giving back tax credits, and people in here just thought they were just geniuses. They just thought like, hey, we're just the smartest people in the world. And reality was going up. And actually in January, I had an incredible month in January. I made a lot of money, and if you look here, you got to trade. People, it went up every day. I think in January, if we're looking here, let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much went up every single day in the month of January, and people were like saying, "Hey, this is free money. I'm so smart. This is free money. I'm making money hand over fist here." And little did they know, if they kept loading up and not taking profits, greed will drive you not to take profits. So if you're greedy and it's driving you and you're not really paying attention, you just think like, oh, I made this stock, I made 400%, I bet I can make 1,000%, or I can make this. That's the issue you got to kind of control, because you may have the right position on, you may have the right timing, but if you just don't take profits, and the same goes for losses, like cut your losses. Don't go max loss on these options. Don't go, have an exit strategy for your option. If you're buying options for $1, say, hey, I'll sell at 50 cents. Or if you're selling credit spreads for $1.25, saying, hey, I'll I'll sell this at $1.80 if it goes $1.80 debit if it goes against me, because all these people here that were loading up and they had fat stacks. They just thought it was going to continue and continue and continue, and then it didn't. And now they either if those options expired, worthless or in the money. If they had short credit spreads, I mean, a lot of people made a lot of money here, but a lot of people lost a lot of money here. People were short. This is the first time the market dipped in like 2.5 years. This much. So it was very easy money just selling put spreads for the last couple of years. You just sell a put spread and the market would go up. And if you had a red day, sure, if you had 2 red days in a row, you're like, well, I'm getting a little worried here. But then it would bounce up and rip. And the number one reason why traders lose is just mainly because of greed, and they're not paying attention to what the stock is doing and if it's overvalued, undervalued. They're not paying attention. They're just concentrating on how much money they can make. I've had people comment or tell me like, hey, I'm up I think it was Tesla. One guy was like, hey, I'm up like 400%. I had a $500 turn into $2,000 winner. I'm still holding it. It expires like tomorrow. Do you think that I should let it run, or should I was like, man, you gotta take your profits. Like if I'm buying options, if I'm an option buyer, once it gets 100%, 80%, I'm taking the money. If I'm selling options, once it hits close to 50, 40%, I'm taking the money. I'm gonna take the money, because a lot of times when you have a short-term option position on, it doesn't always go the way that you want. It will get to where you want to go a lot of the times, but you gotta take your money. You can't let it expire. Like today, I actually had a credit spread on Netflix I put on a couple days ago, and I had the 342.50 expiring next week, and we'll go to the 5-day here. And I actually just sold it at open for like, my max profit was $1.25 or $1.20, something like that. I was a $40 winner this morning at open. We opened at like 347, 346 here, and I just took my money because I really wasn't sure which way the market was going. And as you can see here, the market went down to Netflix went from 347 to 338, had a $10 drop there, and it would have been a losing trade if I held on to it. Now it could, it did bounce back up to where we're at. We're at 342.97 in after hours here, but it could have not. It could have just kept going. Who knows? So I wasn't sure where the market was going, so I took the money. And you don't always hit your goals, so that's why when it gets closer to 50%, 30%, you gotta take the money. So I just wanted this to be a short video. I didn't want it to be anything long because this is kind of more of a rant, but. Just want to encourage you guys that are watching this channel right now, and the people that are going to be watching this video later. Just pay attention to your emotions, pay attention to your greed factor. It's easy to get out of control, and once you start having a lot of winning trades, I think at one time I had 20 winning trades in a row, and at that point you just feel really good about yourself. So you got to really check your emotions and don't let them drive you. We did start an options trading group on Facebook. It's free. There's a link below for that. Be sure to join that. I also started a Spotify playlist too. Kind of motivates you, gets you through the day. Take a listen, follow the channel. Always it's us versus herd. We're trying to make a difference here. Definitely leave a comment below. If this video was of value to you, please subscribe to this channel so you get these alerts for these live videos. We try to go live once a day or every other day, but we usually do have a video once a day. So that's pretty much it. So have a great day, and it's us versus herd.